right, so today I want to talk to you about the real life aspects of being a freight broker business owner, being an entrepreneur. It gets real out here. And a lot of times we want to deal with the fantasy part of being an entrepreneur. We always want to talk about the good. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's important to be positive, but I don't think it's good to be a fool, right? We have to deal with the real life parts of being human. And a part of life is death. That's just how it goes. That's the business of life. It comes with death. And I think that if we misunderstand that, if we just dismiss that, that is a mistake. That's a big mistake, right? And because we just want to deal with the good, we want to know the good about an opportunity. We don't like to talk about the bad. I'm the type of person that I want to know the good and I want to know the bad. Because when I know the bad, I can plan for it and I can deal with it. But if you don't know it, then you can't plan for it, right? You don't know how to deal with it when things happen. So what if something happens to you as a business owner? What if something happens to you as a business owner? What if you lose your life? What if you die prematurely? Most business owners, when they die, what's going to happen is the dreams, the goals, the aspirations, the promises that they made to their family goes down the drain when you die. The business goes down the drain. Your income goes down the drain. Now, your family is dependent on your income. They're expecting X amount of dollars to come into your household every single month or every year, right? And when you pass away, that income is no longer coming in. How do you replace that income? What plan do you have in place just in case your income is cut off? Or do you say your family just will have to fend for themselves? It'll be on them because you're not here. Well, a responsible person wouldn't do that. A person that wants to make sure that his family thrives without them being here wouldn't do that. That type of person is going to make sure that they have a contingency plan, whether they are here or whether they are not here, right? That just makes good sense. That passes the common sense test. How do you do that? How do you as a business owner make sure that your family still survives and thrives in your absence? It's real simple. It's not hard at all. It's not a lot of headache at all. It's just about whether or not you'll make the decision to do it. It's called life insurance. And I know it. Most people want to tune out when you hear that word. And the reason why you want to tune out is because you live in a fantasy world. You don't live in the real world. You don't want to deal with real life. Because what we have to understand that comes with life is death. Things can happen that we don't expect. Accidents happen, diseases happen, and they take life. That's how it goes. With life comes death. And the only question is, are you prepared in both instances? Are you prepared for life? And are you prepared for your demise? Doesn't it just make sense to be prepared for your demise? Everybody you know have come into this world, they have exited at some point. That's how it goes. So to think that it doesn't apply to you or to act as if it doesn't apply by not taking care of business is foolish in my opinion. It is absolutely foolish to act like that you can just be dismissive of death and, you know, because you're dismissive of it, you're not affected by it, right? We got to make sure that we take care of business, right? It's called life insurance. I have what's called a term life insurance plan, meaning that it's only for a period of time. Now, there's another insurance plan called a whole life insurance plan. You can have insurance for your whole life. It depends on your situation, which type of plan you should have. Everybody is different. I chose a term life insurance plan because I only need it for a period of time. You see, I am building right now. I am in the building phase of my life. I'm building assets, I'm building wealth, I'm building a life for my family and I, right? But I am not going to need a whole life insurance policy because during that time that I'm building for a certain reason. I'm building for a certain outcome. And that outcome is for me to be able to take care of myself without an insurance policy, where I'll be able to insure myself. So for a 20-year period, that term, I have insurance. I have a $1 million insurance policy. I pay $96 a month. Only $96, less than $100 a month for a $1 million insurance policy. So just in case some stuff happens, just in case things go left, then that policy will kick in and it will replace my income and give my family $1 million to continue on with life. Because I'm not the type of person that says, okay, if I pass on or when I pass on, then it's on my family to take care of themselves. No, I want to fulfill my promises. I told them that there's a certain way that we're going to do things. We're going to live life a certain way. We're going to be successful in life, successful in business. So if something happens to me, if the business goes down the drain, they still have a $1 million insurance plan policy to live life and enjoy life on, right? And of course, you're going to have to leave some specific directions with that, because if you leave money and you don't leave anything with them, you don't leave education, you don't train them to understand what to do with the money, then you may as well not leave the money, because they'll just blow through the money, right? So we have to do the responsible things, I believe, as business owners. We have to be accountable. As a business owner, what I realize is everything is on me. I don't have an employer or anybody else I can go back and point the finger at and say, why didn't you do this? Why you didn't do that, right? It's all on me. Everything is about me and what it is that I'm providing for my family. And I cannot just be okay with it. I wouldn't rest well knowing that I didn't provide for my family while I had life, right? That's the responsible thing to do, I believe. Now, you might look at it and say you want a different type of policy. I don't think that's really important, what type of policy you get. I think the most important part about it is you get a policy. You see, that just makes sense. That passes the common sense test all day long. Because if you have a policy, then you have something, your family has something that they'll be able to use in your absence. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's about what happens even when you are not here. How did you plan for what you know is coming, right? There's some control you have over that. So go ahead and exercise the control that you have and make sure that things are taken care of. Leave specific instructions. And I know how it is. People don't want to deal with that type of planning, right? And I think it's because we live in a fantasy world. We don't want to deal with real life, right? To me, dealing with real life is dealing with death, because it will happen. There's no two ways about that. Everybody you have known that's come into the world has exited at some point. That's just how it works. So it makes sense to be prepared for life, and it also makes sense to be prepared for death, for your exit of this world. And the only question is, do you have a plan in the event that you die? That's the question that you have to answer as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, right? You can't blame that on anybody else. You have to take 100% responsibility for yourself, for your family. Life insurance, term life, or either whole life insurance policies. You decide. Either way, you and your family will be taken care of. That's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this message has been helpful. It's all about life and doing in life to prepare for the life that you're living and for when you no longer have life. If you do that, you'll find yourself in a good situation. Your family will be in a good situation. They will continue to live and thrive even in your absence. I personally think that's how it's supposed to be. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series, and it's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. Shows me in the office moving freight, talking to shippers and carriers to give you a better understanding of how this business works. And then if you're interested in learning about how we use load boards, how we go out and find carriers using those load boards to make sure that our loads gets covered, I'll leave you a free video right here. And also don't forget the free link in the description that gives you access to TRUCKSTOP's Load Board Pro, the pro version of TRUCKSTOP's load board. You can get that load board for 50% off for 3 months if you use the link in the description. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.